Okay, we're on.
We're on.
We're on, bitches.
We're here.
We're here.
Woohoo.
We're ready. Welcome to, we came up with a name.
Tell me.
Comedy Confession Booth.
Oh, I love it. Very Catholic.
Is it?
Very mass. Love it. Very suited to the situation at hand.
Exactly. I'm trying to shirk my reputation as a Jew. No, I'm kidding.
Shirk is a nice word. I never heard that word.
It is a good word.
Yeah,
it's a good word. We love good words. Well, welcome to the Comedy Confession Booth, Kyla Cobbler.
Thank you for having me, Jamie Lerner. I'm sorry for my tardiness.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'm always late.
I'm very late. I'm never late. I'm
know,
a very
that's why I was
punctual
like,
person.
she forgot.
I forgot. I completely forgot. I didn't even have an excuse. I was like, I'm literally at the beach. I'm so sorry. I'm like lounging around.
I should have just come to meet you at the beach.
That would have been better, but we would not have done a podcast.
No, I would have stolen everything from the studio.
Yeah.
And then
Brought
carried
it
it
down
on
and
my
set it
back.
up. Yes,
Yeah,
your
set it up.
tiny back. You'd never be able to carry all this stuff down. Come on now, Miss Lerner. Come on now, Miss
I
Lerner.
would do my best. I would try. I don't know what that accent was. So welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
Basically what this is I'm going to ask you questions about your comedy life and
Amazing.
career.
Amazing.
And you have some upcoming shows.
I do.
Let's plug those now and at the end. Because,
Okay.
you know,
There's many.
there's many. And people, I don't think anyone's going to stop listening because this is the best one we have.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, fingers fucking crossed.
Yeah. Well, there's only one other, which is with Mariah. And that's also the best one we have. I don't want her to think
No,
that
of
it's less
course,
than.
I get it.
Really, everything is equal.
Everything is equal and everyone is just there's abundance in the collective.
There is.
We're all incredible.
It's true. We are.
It's true.
It's true.
Fucking strong
Everyone's.
scene in Barcelona. I saw Mariah last night. She's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, since you've been single, you're funnier. You're fucking funnier.
Do you worry that's happened to you?
I'm terrified that I'm going to lose my funny. That every time he dips his cock in me, he's taking some sort of my sense of humour out. I'm like, don't use like an avatar in its tail. I'm like, just don't fucking come at me, all right? You never know. I don't know. People definitely get. Yeah, I think it's a thing, right? People, especially comedians, they break up and then they just get. It's like something awakens in them.
Yeah.
Because it can really dull when you're in. It's like there's nothing lonelier than being in a relationship you don't want to be in. I'm not Mariah. This is not pointed at your relationship. I know nothing about your relationship, but we've just segued on to this conversation. I think when you're in a relationship that's like dulling your spark or like your mind is somewhere else or thinking about it, it can really fuck up your creativity.
Yeah.
And I feel like that freedom and that liberation of like breaking up with someone or like even a situationship of like being like, you know what, no more, done. It can really like give you like a fresh kind of push, you know?
Yeah, it can. I think there's like a middle point where it's like when you're too sad, then you can't do, like, people think that you have to be like tortured to be a comedian or to be an artist, right? And you definitely don't, right?
No, you don't.
Because
100%.
if you're too sad, you can't do shit. You're sitting on the couch smoking weed.
Yeah,
and, like,
literally.
crying.
Literally. And just eating.
Eating.
Cheesies.
I love eating.
Cheez-Ats. Cheezos. What are those things called? Cheezos?
Cheese.
Cheetos.
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 Oh God, I hate Cheetos.
I love them. I love that little fucking the cheesy fingers. Oh my God.
I like that with you know those ice cream sandwiches where it's like the chocolate.
Yeah, the
and
Bomb
then
the Maxi Bomb.
Yeah, or like and the chocolate sticks to your fingers.
Yum.
Love that.
I love it.
I love that. So anyway, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Let's go. So tell me like how you began doing stand-up comedy and like why you were like, yeah, I'm gonna do comedy.
So I started doing stand-up. So I started doing like obviously on Instagram like storytelling and like that. I never really considered myself a comedian until Mike Rice invited me on his podcast and he actually called me a comedian. And I remember being like, I'm not a comedian. And he's like, hey, you're right. It's like, you're not a stand-up, but you're definitely a comedian. Like, you're writing material and doing material online. And I was like, I guess you're right. And then he was saying to me, you should try it. You should just try it. And I was so scared of trying it. I didn't want to at all. And then we went to Imperfecto. I went to see him. And this is before I knew anyone or started doing any sort of like live performance. And by chance, all of the audience were Italian. There was only like 15 people and like literally 13 were Italian. And I was like, he's like, go up, come on, just sign up. And I was like, I'll just go up and speak in Italian. Yeah. So I went up and I had a shot of whiskey and I just said in Italian, I didn't make any jokes. I just told the truth. I was like, look, I'm really interested in this guy. I'm really trying to get involved. So let's just pretend I'm hilarious. And everyone, obviously they were loving it. And they were like, and he was like, what did you say? And I was like, oh yeah, you know, just like a few bits and pieces I've been working on. And I was like, just told the truth. And then, so that was like the first kind of stand-up experience I had, but I was terrified. Like it wasn't easy at all. It wasn't enjoyable. It was just like scary. There was no...
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I think I just kind of always, there was always in the back of my mind to do it. And then on the 16th of May, I signed up. I asked Phil Varney was still running the Sunday show. Yeah. And I was like, can I come to your show? And he was like, yeah, for sure.
I like that you know the date.
Yeah. Because it was like the biggest, it was so scary. I knew I had to do it, but I just didn't want to. There was like something in me that was like, don't.
Yeah.
And then I did it again, very drunk, and it was okay. Like I was absolutely, I got langers, like even before and after. And I just kept going from there. Yeah. And I kept quitting and being like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't me. There's other ways of like being creative. But something kept drawing me back into it.
What do you think that something is?
I don't know. The divine. I don't know.
The divine.
The universe.
The comedy gods.
The comedy gods. Because it was I honestly was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I would like book shows and then get high and like cancel all the shows.
Yeah. Like I remember when I came, you kind of had a bit of a, I don't want to say a reputation, but like, like booking you was like, oh, she might, like, she's super funny, she's amazing, but she might not come.
Show up. Yeah. I was flaky. I was just always like, I was just terrified. It just terrified me.
It's scary.
It's so scary. And my like leg used to shake. And like sometimes I would talk and it would get stuck in my throat. Like I would try and say something and it would get stuck in my throat. And I was like, I just can't do this. And it was like everything. It wasn't even like being funny. It was like being up on stage and being under the spotlight and everyone looking at you. And it was just overwhelming. It was just really overwhelming, the whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like that's so surprising to me in a way because you're such a natural performer and a natural storyteller.
Yeah, thank you.
Is my sound okay? Yeah, I'm going to turn me up.
Turn you up, man.
Yeah, I guess I have like a higher timbre or something. Yeah, no, because you're just such a natural on stage that like I never thought of you as someone who would have had any stage fright.
Like now, totally at ease. Like I love it. I'm at home there, but yeah, it just took a lot of, because also you're confronting with yourself and your own like insecurities, and it's hard. And I think as well as women, you know, we're not used to being in the middle and being listened to as much. So but that was a big thing as well. Like I remember Manning gave me my first 15 minutes. It was on my birthday in. What's that venue called in Jamboree?
Oh yeah, it was the Tarantos.
Yeah.
I think I was there.
Yeah, and she got me a cake and all.
Yeah,
and
it was so cute.
You can do it. And I, like, this point, had never done crowd work. I was just like, oh my God, I can't do 15. And I remember for like 2 days before the show, I didn't eat and I had like really bad piles. I was so,
piles?
like in my bum. Yeah, where you can't shit. Like I was and like going out to my house, and, like doing yoga beforehand and like just being so scared. Like,
oh my God.
Now when I think 15 minutes, I'm like, fucking give me the mic, whatever.
Yeah, like I don't even need to like plan it.
Totally. Yeah. I'm like, that's chill. Like, but it's crazy. It's crazy that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
I remember that night. You were really good then.
No, I don't even.
I remember being like, wow, she is really funny.
Oh God, I don't
And then I feel like after that is when you started really consistently like.
Yeah, I think I just was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Yeah. I just got to do it. I got booked in Cork because this club owner in Cork where I'm from kept trying to book me, and I was like, I haven't got 15 because he's like, just come and do like a 15-minute set, and I was like, no. And then I realised I was just self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
And then again, something intervened that was beyond my perception, and I was like, okay, I have to do it. Yeah. And then it was there, just those pushes.
It's cool that you had people pushing you.
I did. I was very lucky. Like I've had so many conversations with Marnie and Hector and Andy and everyone of just like, you need to do this, like keep getting up, just keep getting up. Because also I kept saying to everyone, like, what's the like, but like, how do you like get better? Like there has to be a way of like practicing without like going up on stage. And everyone was like, no, like you just literally have to go up all the time. Like that's the only. And I was like, I know, but like, apart from that, like, is there anything else? And everyone's like, no, like you literally have to continue to go up constantly. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And they were right.
They're right. And it's also like a very New York mindset too, where it's like, I would say like in New York, everyone's like, you have to just do as much as possible. I do think that there's a bit of a disconnect sometimes though. Yeah. Because like in New York, for instance, comedians are like, you have to go up as much as possible. But they don't, like they just go up over and over again and tell the same jokes and don't actually work. Yeah. And that happens here too. It happens everywhere. Sure. So it's like, I think I would say that like you're someone who I see you do a joke once and then the next time you do it, you've edited and you've like
added. But that really comes, like I don't write that. Like that comes from going up on stage. Like I very rarely write with a pen. Yeah. Like I'll write it down and stuff if I'm trying to work it out. But like usually I'll have an idea and I'll go, and I'm lucky because I host. So when I'm hosting, I'll like work it in and like have a little conversation with people. And then from there I'll gather ideas from that. But yeah, like, that's just like conversation, basically, you know.
Yeah. What is your writing process? Like, do you have one at all?
So I just go through phases. Like sometimes I would love to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I commit like every day for like an hour. Like I don't, you know. I think for me a lot of it is connected to like my well-being, my mental health. So like when I'm, you know, working out and like outside a lot and doing yoga, it just gives me time to think. And I think for me a lot of it is just the thought process, and like I ponder a lot. Like I'll sit and think. That's why I like airports. I quite like airports.
Oh my God.
I'll always just sit and be like, you know, and certain ideas will come to mind, and then I'll go on stage. And the only time I go to write is when I'm trying to like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should be writing more. Sometimes I feel like I'm like, am I cheating that I don't write as much? I journal a lot, but not necessarily about comedy. Like I would journal. I journal my thoughts and like what I'm thinking about. And before I used to have like a notebook for jokes and a notebook for journaling, but now I'm like, I've realised that the less shit I have around me that's distracting me, the easier it is for me. So if I'm journaling and I think of something funny, I'm like, oh, that's funny, cool. And I'll underline it and then I'll go and talk about it. But for me, my creative process is just, it's such a whole of my existence. Like it's, now I prioritise it completely. So like I obviously, you know, I've stopped drinking, I've stopped smoking weed, I've stopped doing everything. And I'm like, as creatives and as artists, I think we just need time to do nothing. I think we just need time to like let our brains go wherever it needs to go. Yeah. And I also think that I'm an avid reader, and I think reading for me, for some reason, inspires me and is very beneficial. And a lot of my ideas come when I'm reading or when I'm in that headspace, or, you know, so writing wise, I don't really have a kind of like solid, you know, this is what I do every morning, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'll, again, go through phases, but there's times when I'm out running and I'm like, oh shit, that's funny. Yeah. Or I'll see an observation and I'm like that whole reverse cowgirl bit came from when other people's dogs smell your crotch. Like I was out running and a dog came up to my crotch and I was like, this is the most awkward feeling. And like, I love putting words to those situations. Yeah. You know, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of like sexual tension. And then from there, it all kind of started building. And then I found myself in situations and I go, that's funny. But like, it just takes so much. And it's trusting, right? Mm-hmm. It's trusting that it's going to come. Because you can sit and write for days, but you're like, it just comes then. You're like, okay, nothing for like 2 months. And then you're like, okay, 20 minutes. Perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's very scary.
Exactly. Well, I think it's like, it goes along with the idea that like some of your best ideas come when you're like in the shower.
Yeah, totally.
Because that's one of the few times that we're actually...
Yeah, not distracted.
Yeah.
Not distracted.
And it's nice and warm. And our bodies are like... Clean. It's like what you're saying with yoga and everything else. Yeah. It's like health.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, totally.
Like you're caring for yourself.
Exactly. And that's your creativity comes from you. So it's like you're minding that and you're holding space for that. And then it blossoms because of that, you know?
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. What are your favorite jokes that you're telling right now?
My favorite joke I've ever written is my airplane joke about the 2 female pilots.
Oh my God.
My little opener. I love that. It's my favorite joke. It's just my favorite joke because it's like I don't really write structured jokes. Yeah. So because I get to I have like this joke that I know is like a little 30-second thing or like maybe a little bit longer, and it always kind of I'm touch wood, it always lands, but it usually always lands, and I just love it.
Like that plane that you were on.
Yeah. Exactly. That's my favorite joke. 100%.
I love that joke.
It's so silly and it's so fun and I just love it. So.
I like it because it's silly and it's fun, but it's also based in truth.
Very true. Yeah. Very, very true. Like, and we're all like, yeah, and then you're like, oh shit, no way. You know what I mean? So it's just nice. I like it. It's a good joke. It's a fun joke.
Yeah, it is. It is fun. It is. And I think it also plays into that, like being a feminist and being supportive of women, and it's like
but also being realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also knowing our place, you know what I mean?
Knowing that women should not fight.
Yeah. Like it's a giggle. I love the reaction of the audience. They're like, yeah, and then the little misdirect, and it's one of my very few jokes that isn't about, like, I think I wrote my first hour has been really based on sex and like dating, because that's where I was mentally. Yeah. So a lot of my material is very that premise, which of course, like, it's normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're thinking about.
Exactly. So I just like that it is out of that as well. You know what I mean? It's like not in that premise. Yeah. It was just fun to write about it, you know?
It is fun. It is a little more like observational sort of. Like,
exactly.
Outside of that. I like that. Is Gone Rogue... So tell me about Gone Rogue. That's your upcoming hour. That's what you're doing at the Cork Opera House.
I know.
Sold out. 1,000 seats.
I know.
That's insane.
Fuck? It's like insane. Sorry, my ear is itchy. It's beyond. Like, I remember seeing like Dara O'Brien in the Opera House. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And I was talking to them during the week for like just the tech side of stuff for like lighting and like who's opening for me. And they were like, so what about next year? And I was like, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, there was a lot of demand, so like, would you consider coming back on your birthday again? So they booked me for 2 nights next year. So what I'm going to do is release the ticket link the night of the show. Instead of like selling t-shirts and shit, I'm going to be like, guys, next year come back for a whole new show, which I don't have.
Yeah,
so that'll be
but
fun.
You will.
I will.
Because you're going to have another year of life.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a very good point. Yeah, I'm going to have another year of life. So going back again. So hopefully this could be like an annual thing where, you know, they'll be very handy financially to start the year with a sold out show and fucking in Cork. But yeah, it's crazy. So Gone Rogue is, it's just my... Yeah, from the very beginning, from the Latino bit, which is the first ever bit I wrote, to the newer bits. And it's just a kind of beginning and end of like when I was dating as a drinker and like obviously life as a non-drinker and the different kind of feeling and navigating through that, and hopefully in a really fun way. And yeah, I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it. It's cool.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing it in Cork, unfortunately.
I know that. You'll see it,
but I'll see it here.
Yeah. You've seen it like a million times in different little snippets.
But I want to see it all together.
Yeah. It's been a journey. It's been very, very cool. Very cool writing and performing it.
Cool. Yeah, and so now you're doing it. I said we were going to promote at the beginning, but then we forgot. So when are you doing it here?
So I am doing it. So tomorrow I'm doing it in Perfecto with Andy, and then Friday I'm doing it at 6:30 here. And then at 10 in the Secret Comedy Club. And then on Sunday, I've got my usual show. On Saturday, I'm doing it here again at 6:30. Nice. And then on Tuesday at 10 p.m. So I'm taking over Fat Goose and Show Up, Go Up.
Haha.
I'm doing it. Because like that's my only, I can't, like that's how I practice. Like I can't sit and look at it written down.
Yeah, no.
So I just have to do it. And then I'm flying to Cork on the 14th. And then the show's on the 17th.
Wow.
My asshole is closing as I say that. How crazy is that? I'm like, I had the urge to poop.
Yeah, no pooping.
No pooping in the studio.
No pooping in the studio. Not in the confession booth.
I know. Oh, so yeah, it's just been mental. I just can't believe it. Like when they booked me, I didn't even have the hour written. I was like, I did have like 40 minutes. So I was missing like another bit. But yeah, I can't believe it's here.
Yeah. It's good. It's like a good incentive, though. It's like...
It's the best incentive.
Not that this is anything comparable, but like, I was like, I'm going to book in my hour for December or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah. I came to your
And
hour.
I was just like, I'm going to just have to put it together. And then the day before, I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
I know,
so
it's terrifying, isn't
it would be a lot better to have like an opera house where you're like, no, I actually have to know
people
what
have
I'm
like paid money to come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's Ireland too, so it's not like €5 ticket. You know, it's like like money.
How much were the tickets?
I think they were like 30, 25 or 30. I don't know.
Yeah, girl, get it.
So it's like
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited too.
Let's see. I'm using this mouse as if it does anything for the computer. It doesn't. It does it for that one. So you live in Barcelona. Mm-hmm. I guess you kind of split your time with Cork and Barcelona, but you're here more.
I'm here more. Yeah, for sure.
So what led you to move here?
I was in Italy and I lived there for 7 years and I speak Italian. And then I thought to myself, before I go and turn 30, if I could have another language under my belt, that would be a good skill set. Because this is before I started comedy. So I was like, I didn't study. I never went to university. I have no kind of qualifications, or I've always just done hospitality work or fashion. So I was like, I'll come to Barcelona and like in a year I'll learn Spanish because it's the exact same. Mm-hmm. And then I started comedy instead and changed my life. So It has been... So I actually came here just to learn Spanish, which anyway is like pissing into the fucking wind.
Yeah, you can't learn Spanish in Barcelona.
You can't learn Spanish in Barcelona. Like literally, it's the stupidest thing ever. It's like a prison yard. It's like the Argentinians stay with the Argentinians, the Mexicans with the Mexicans. So
yeah, and then everyone here just speaks Catalan.
Literally, and English. So yeah.
It's so frustrating. My grandfather's like, why don't you speak Spanish yet? You've been here 2 years. And
I
I'm
know,
like,
you don't understand. What's your granddaddy's name?
Jules.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So cute.
I know. Jules. It's like, so his name's Jules and my grandmother's name Daryl. So people mix them up a lot.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh, that's actually so cute. Daryl.
Right? Yeah. People think that she's going to be a black man and people think that he's going to be an Irish woman or something.
That is so cute. Jules.
Yeah.
Aww, what a babe.
They're cute.
I can imagine.
But yeah, they're like, you should be speaking Spanish by now. And I'm like, I can't.
It's so hard though. And then the minute you walk into a shop, like especially like you as well, like I look like a fucking Geary. Like I'm tall, pale, with blonde or blue eyes. Like people are like, hello. And I'm like, sure.
Right, exactly. Like people actually, I look a little Mediterranean.
Yeah, you don't look as foreign as me.
Especially in the summer, I tan.
Yeah.
Where do you burn? You tan a little.
I tan.
I've seen tan.
I call it tan. It has a red tinge, but I tan. I'm like, I'm fucking tanned. Okay.
I'm like a tomato that's like a brown tomato.
Yeah, like overripe, sun-dried. That's
I'm
my
sun-dried.
vibe. I'm sun-dried.
You are.
I'm getting there.
No, that's amazing. That's cool though that you moved here and then your life changed because well, part of it is like you have a big following on Instagram.
Yeah.
So tell me, that's not a pre-written question because most people I interview do not.
Yeah.
There's a guy who wants something.
I'm sure John will get him.
Yeah, John's got him.
John's got
Okay,
him.
thank God. But what was I saying? Instagram. Tell me like how that happened.
Instagram happened. So I joined Instagram before it had like when it was just photographs. What is it? It's Bam Milan. Hey Bam. Before I love him. Before Instagram had like videos and reels and stuff, and it was just photographs. Remember? Mm-hmm. And the stories had just come out, and the bloggers, because like Irish bloggers, it's like big in Ireland being a blogger, like influencers, and like some of them are a fucking joke. Some of them are amazing, but some of them are a fucking joke. Yeah. And I just started doing the stories that I do now, the daily stories, like messing and playing, and just grew really organically. Just consistency. Just did it every day. And just shared my life really honestly. And back then too, like now I'm like 32 and like in a relationship and sober, so like my life is really boring and routine based. But like back then I was like, oh my God, I was going out and like taking pills and like getting fucked up and sleeping around, and I would just say that. I just tell the truth, you know. So I think people appreciated the honesty. Yeah. You know what I mean? And people were that my age were going through the same things, or women who were older were like, oh, good for you, go out and fucking have fun, and you know what I mean? And there's definitely been moments where I absolutely hated it and just didn't want to be online anymore because it's hard to share all the time, and sometimes it's weird when people come up and they feel like they know you, which of course I understand, but it can be a little bit, especially if they're after a few drinks and like they kind of overshare, and you're like, and you're like, oh, I don't know you. We don't know each other, and I know that's really hard, but like we don't, and like don't get me wrong, like sometimes it's beautiful and there is really tender moments, but it's just, you know, it just is what it is. It's like the belly of the beast, right? You just have to keep feeding it, and because it's conflicting, because at times I know Instagram is just so bad for us and so like, but it's a tool, right? And it's currency. So as long as I have it and it's working, then why not?
Yeah, no, it's a tool, it's currency. And I also think that you've kind of tapped into the good side of it.
I feel like that too. Thank you for saying that. I feel like that too. I think that I try and have a good relationship with it, and I try and get back to people and like actually put effort into saying thank you to people, and you know, and it sold me tickets. Like I have no management and I'm selling out auditoriums. So like happy thank you more please, nothing but gratitude, you know.
Are you going to make happy thank you more please merch?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I want to. Simon's designing it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's so cute.
The hunk.
I love him.
He's so cute. Yeah. He's so cute.
He's so cute.
Let's talk about him a little, because he's like a new thing in your life.
He is. He's brand new, and it makes me so happy. He's just so, and it's so crazy because I like met him. I think it's the first kind of guy but that came into my life, and I met him and I'm already happy. Like I met him when I was in a really good place, and like I just honestly thought before I met him I'd been single for so long, and I was like, I just don't think that maybe in this lifetime romantic love is going to be in my life, you know, because everything else, I was surrounded by love. I have an amazing support group of friends and like intelligent women all around me, and like my, you know, comedy has just gone so well, which is amazing. I found something that I love to do and I'm good at, so it's like, you know, I just was like, maybe it's just not going to be this lifetime, you know, and I really come to terms with that. And then he just like, hey. And I was like, hey. And then that was it. It was just like, he's so incredible and supportive and kind. And
he is.
Yeah, he is. He's great. And I get like,
that outside.
Yeah. He's like, and he loves comedy, which is great. So yeah, I just feel really lucky. And he's the kind of person, something that really made a difference to me, and I'm sure you'll understand this as a comic yourself, is that before shows, he doesn't annoy me. You know, sometimes like,
oh my God,
you can't be around people before you perform. But with him, he's just like such a like relaxing and easing energy. Like he soothes me, you know?
Which is like very good energy to have before going on stage.
Absolutely.
And he's also like, he's chill. Like he'll like, so if you're chill. Like, I need to like
totally
go through my material, like he'll talk to me, like or whoever.
Yeah. He's like, you do you, babe. Like he's he's just, I feel so lucky. Like I always say, he's my prize for getting sober. He's what I won.
Aww.
Yeah, he's my wee prize. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm gonna stay sober.
Do it. Welcome. Because you honestly, it's just been
that's so cute.
He's great.
I love that. Well, so I'm gonna go into my canned questions a little bit too. You've performed in a bunch of cities now, kind of. So how does the Barcelona scene compare? Like, I know it was really your first comedy scene, but how would you say that the Barcelona scene in particular is, important to your growth as a comedian, and like how does it compare to these other comedy scenes?
For sure. I think that if it wasn't for the Barcelona scene, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like 100%. You guys have just
You would be in a better place now.
I'd be much more successful, and I would be on Netflix. No, it was the love and support of everyone on the scene and the community vibe, and like I've always felt like an alien just meeting everyone here. I'm like, okay, cool, these are my people. Like, yeah. And just how we help each other out. Like if there's ever like 2 or 3 shows and you're like, okay, you can open mine and close mine, and we all work together, and it's like this. Is it good? It's just been, you guys have been amazing. I think we're all amazing, and you know what, like on a completely like professional level, it's a fucking strong scene.
Yeah,
like we're funny. Like the shows sell out, they're great shows, we put a lot of work into them, and it's just like, and again, like I think there is, and maybe this has been done unconsciously, but it is an abundant scene. Like there's enough for everyone. We realise that no one's greedy, everyone trying to work together to create something that's really special, and it worked. Yeah. It's really special. It's a really special place, and the shows are fucking incredible. And it's the best place for someone like me to grow, because I get to go on stage. If I want to go on stage every night, I can go on stage every night. Yeah. There's shows there for everyone. If I can say, like even when I was doing my big show in the summer in Dublin, and I was like, guys, can anybody give me like 10 minutes? I need to like work this out. And everyone was like, yeah, 100%. Like, just let me know. And like, you don't get that anywhere else.
No.
Like you don't.
If that was like London, people would be like,
who are you?
Yeah.
Like,
or not even that, like they're just like, go get your spots, like contact individual people, and like blah blah blah. Whereas it's like here it's just like,
no, we're a family, and it's so, and I know that eventually that will change, because I think it's going to get really big and really different. But I'm so glad I got to be a part of the originals. Like I'm so proud that
we're like the founding fathers.
We're the founding fathers. Like we were in Pub Limerick. We all did it.
Oh my God.
Like I was a bartender before I was a comedian in the comedy club. How crazy is
that? That's crazy.
It's like Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
It's like me, like
you were like the janitor.
Looking at the whiteboard, being like, what's the punchline? You know, like it's so, it's been, I love everyone here. I love that I feel. And I love that sometimes I'm at home and I'm like nothing to do, and I'm like, I can just go and hang out in a show. Yeah. And there'll be someone there that's like weird or like nice, and just special. It's a special place.
I like that your adjectives are weird and nice.
Yeah, it is weird and nice though, right? We're definitely weird. People are so weird.
We're such weirdos.
We're weirdos. We're absolute weirdos. But we got each other's back.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I think Barcelona in particular is a place where a lot of people go when they're like, maybe something's not working for them where they're from or where they were. Maybe it was, but they were just like, I want to seek something else or something different.
It definitely attracts a certain kind of person, right? Yeah. A certain kind of soul.
Yeah.
I think so.
I agree. And I think when you take people who have chosen to live in Barcelona and then people who are choosing to be part of this comedy scene, you get a very particular...
Yeah. It's fun. Like, remember the clubbies? How beautiful were the clubbies?
Oh my God, I love the clubbies.
They were I was just like, my heart was full.
I think I cried.
I was like, I'm an emotional wreck these days. Are you kidding? Now that I'm all in love.
Best host?
I won Best Host.
Yeah.
I won Best Host. Yeah. And I had my trophy broke.
No.
Yeah, it fell off although I have the 2 pieces, I just need to glue them back together. I was cleaning and it fell off my fucking bookshelf.
No.
That Phil Varney built me, that bookshelf, when I moved house.
Nice.
Yes, because we're nice to each other.
We're nice.
John Alice minds my cat when I travel.
Yes,
when I go on
he
tour.
Loves staying at your place.
Yeah, it's a nice little place.
Yeah, he's like, it's so close.
Yeah, it's so close. It's a nice place. Like we're just amazing. We've such a beautiful thing here.
It's true.
And I'm really proud when like people come over and I'm like, oh, come to Barcelona. Like it's like amazing. You'll get loads of spots, and I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, I love the visiting, like a lot of visiting comedians.
They always say it. They're like, wow, this is places. I'm like, I know.
This was the let's talk up our scene section of the pod.
Well, it's just the truth.
It is.
It's just the truth.
It's just the truth. We love it.
I don't tell lies.
Who are your favorite comedians, either local or visiting or famous? Like just your favorite comics.
Like Andy Casper cracks me. Yeah. Andy Casper cracks me up. I've always said it on every podcast, no matter what level of podcast I'm doing. I'm like, Andy Casper makes me like properly laugh. And that's the one thing about doing comedy, is that you don't laugh a lot. I think you get to where you're very used to it, which is very normal, right? It's like, but fuck me, Andy makes me cry. He's so funny. So definitely Andy, I think for local, is my favourite. I think Shane Gillis. I love Shane Gillis stand up.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know him. Is he?
He's like a
Irish?
bro. No, he's American. He's like one of the bro heads, but he did Beautiful Dogs, and it's like I think one of the best specials I've watched in so long.
Cool.
Like it was just like simple, because like I love, like I do, like obviously we're in a moment where like it's a lot to say and stuff, but sometimes you just can't beat like old funny jokes about stupid shit. Like I do love that kind of comedy where it's just like a little less innovative and a little less like I'm sending a message, or like this is what like I'm trying to tell you, or it's like just like I want to have a giggle.
Yeah.
You know, like I just have a giggle, like it's a joke, you know. Like sometimes I feel like we get a little bit too caught up in
saying shit
and sending these kind of like messages, or like when I'm just like, this is a crack, this is a bit of fucking fun, chill out, we're not saving lives.
Exactly. Well, it actually frustrates me a lot. Like I don't know if you watched, I've like hate watched more comedy recently than I've watched stuff I wanted to.
I hear you.
So I watched like Matt Rife's special and Ricky Gervais special.
And Ricky Gervais, who's amazing and
he's a great joke writer.
Oh, great. But he just sounds like he's ranting. He's angry.
Yeah.
And you can feel that.
And it's like, what is he angry about? He's like, I can't say anything anymore. I'm like, you're on stage.
Saying it.
Saying shit.
Saying it. Yeah. And you're like, come on. And there was moments when he like leaned away from it and just became more himself. And you're like, this is so good. Like,
Like there are really good moments in that special.
Yeah, there is.
And then he ruins it by trying to say something.
I know. You should watch Beautiful Dogs. Anyone
Beautiful
listening?
Dogs?
Oh, it's...
Okay.
I've like, because I hyperfixate. Like I'll watch nothing and then I've watched Beautiful Dogs like 8 times.
Yeah.
Like 8, like literally I cannot. It gives me the biggest giggle. Like
I
the
love
biggest
that.
giggle. Yeah.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited to watch that.
It's really good. You're going to love it.
I love that. Yeah. I love just some silly that's why I really respect like Hannah Gadsby.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you watched her recent special.
I didn't see it.
She did it when she came here to visit.
Yeah.
And she was like, everyone says that you can't wait. Let me make sure I'm still recording. Sorry, I just have to double check this.
Take your time.
Yeah, it stopped us.
How did you know that?
Because it stops at 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I just have to do a new one. It's just, this is the transcription software. Okay, great. We're back on. But yeah, Hannah Gadsby, her recent special, she was like, everyone says I'm not a comedian because I was just saying something and trying to send a message. So here's just some silly comedy.
Yeah, good for her.
And it's the story of how she met her now wife.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Amazing, no?
You should watch it.
I
would
will
love it.
I will. I absolutely will.
It's like really good storytelling, really good joke writing.
Legend.
Yeah. It's brilliant. And it just comes full circle in like the most, I think it's a 90-minute special too.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's long.
It's impressive.
90 minutes material.
Oh my God. Not even. One day Kyla Cobbler is going to be up there doing 3-hour specials.
Fuck me, bro. Oh my God.
No bathroom breaks.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. 2 Casios.
Yeah. Just timing.
Oh my God. Even the thought of writing a new hour, I'm like, and my head's already there. I can feel it. I'm like, oh my God. And like, see, since I know I have Gone Rogue coming up, this has been such a like pinnacle like goal.
Yeah.
Like now, even forgetting today, like it's not me. My head, I am just ungrounded. Like I am just like.
Well, you've got a million things.
Yeah. I have so much coming up, and like even like getting there, and I just need to do this. It's like I'm building up to it. I can feel myself like. Yeah. Anyway, mental.
No, it's great though. It's like
it's crazy.
Do you get to that point with your material where, because now you've been doing this material kind of for the last year or 2 years.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, now I have to write a new hour.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm done. I love Gone Rogue, but like I'm ready now. I'm like, give me stuff. But I just can't.
Yeah.
I tried to at January to start writing new stuff, and I'm like, my brain's just like, just do it first.
Yeah.
Do it in the Opera House, get it done, and then after it'll come. And I just trust that it will. And I can feel so, obviously, because I'm a girlfriend now and I haven't been a girlfriend in like 7 years, so there's lots of stuff coming up. And I'm like, oh, that's funny, that's funny, this is funny, that's funny. So I'm just like writing it all down somewhere, and I'm like, I'll pick a day and just do those open mics. And I know it'll flow very fluidly once I'm done with. I just need to do the fucking Opera House. I need to get this done. It's like, that's my.
Yeah, so it's like a week away.
Fuck. What the fuck? I know.
It's fucking cool though.
It's fucking cool.
Exciting.
Though. It is.
You what was I gonna we've been kind of bouncing around a little, so I'm a little like what was your worst ever gig? Do you remember?
My worst ever gig. So this is going to sound really up my own ass, but I don't care. It's honest. So obviously I started and I had my Instagram thing, and like people would come and see, and I wasn't like taking any risks at the beginning. Like I was just doing the Latino bit and like, you know, there was certain endings to it and blah, blah, blah. And I remember the first time I bombed.
Yeah.
At Space Cowboy. I was doing Andy's show.
Of course, it's Space Cowboy.
Oh, fuck Space Cowboy. Oh my God, what a room.
Michelle's really taken that Friday though and run with it.
Yeah. She's amazing. And I saw her like the second show she did, and I was like, okay, cool. Like obviously like learning how to be a host, whatever. And I went last week and I was like, fuck, you're amazing. Because it's like boot camp.
Yeah.
It's literally boot camp. Like Space Cowboy gave me such a thick skin because like not only is it just not built for comedy, but you've got like the bar, the air dryer and the fucking men's toilet, which is like the loudest thing in the world.
Yeah, every time it flushes.
Oh my God, like it's so and like people, and because you start a show in Space Cowboy and because people come in and out of the bar, you're never, you know, sometimes you start a show and you're like, okay, this is the feel of the show.
Right.
This is going to be hard. They're not that, you know. But with Space Cowboy, it's like, oh, this could change at any moment.
Yeah.
Don't get comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was doing Andy's show, and this is before I was hosting, and I did my opener, and it didn't land, and it just threw me. It just had never not landed.
Yeah.
And I just started saying all my punchlines and my back was sweating. I remember like ripples of like sweat, you know, that slow I'm bombing sweat.
Yeah.
And I got off stage and I was supposed to do 15. I did 8, but I said all my material. I said everything.
Right.
And Andy was like, you need to do your time. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, Kyla, it doesn't matter if you're eating shit. You need to finish the time because it's like for the respect of the show. And I was like, okay, fair. And then I bombed again, maybe like, I don't know, a couple of weeks later at Bomb Shelter.
Yeah.
I was headlining and it was like 1:45 in the morning. So
I mean, that's a tough spot.
Come on. And I did my time and I was so proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then once you bomb once, like,
yeah,
it's so liberating. Now I don't care. No, I obviously care, but like, it happens, right? Like sometimes you eat shit.
You have to, if you don't bomb as a comedian, you're not taking risks.
You're not taking risks, exactly. So it's like, okay, I just have to like, so yeah, it was, I think bombing was probably the best thing that happened for me.
Oh, I love that.
Right?
That's a great perspective.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, this is the worst thing.
Yeah, like that's the worst that's going to happen.
That's the worst thing. And you know, probably. I mean, yeah, unless you're like Chris Rock, but who knows, someone could slap you.
Exactly. I was going to say, unless you're like in America and someone like just comes on stage and punches you.
Literally. But yeah, it was, that Space Cowboy bomb was a hard wake up call, but very necessary.
Yeah.
Very necessary.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's the perspective on it now. Do you have a favorite ever gig you've done?
My favorite gig, I remember when I went to Luxembourg with Victor Petroscan and Chris Darwa, and we were in this. I just met Chris, and Chris is like the nicest guy. He's an absolute babe, like amazing comedian, really funny.
Absolute babe.
He's a hottie.
Can you introduce me?
He's a hottie. He's such a little hottie. And it was just, I met him at the airport, and it was like an instant connection. And we did this amazing show. We did 2 shows back to back in a theatre with Victor, and it was just a great vibe. It was just like a really fun show. And then obviously my first time I did Gone Rogue was amazing. Yeah. That was like the first time I was like, right, I only did like 47 minutes instead of 60, but it's
hard. First time doing it,
you're emotional. It's an emotional experience too, because you put so much work into it, and like, you know.
Yeah.
You put a lot of pressure onto yourself, so.
And then there's all those people there to see you.
Oh, and it's like all my friends. There was I couldn't even do fucking crowd work because like the first 8 rows were just people I know. So it was a lot, but it was beautiful. I mean, it was so beautiful and so much fun.
Yeah.
So definitely those 2 shows kind of stand out a bit more.
I love that. Cool. I really only have one question left, which is your advice to new comedians.
My advice to new comedians is just keep showing up and doing your best. Yeah. Just keep going on stage. I know. I understand. But just keep doing it.
Just keep doing it.
Just keep doing it. And you have to get better. You may not never make it, but you'll definitely get better.
But I think that's part of like being okay with it, right?
Yeah. You gotta love it, right? Like you have to enjoy it.
Like I think if you're doing comedy to be famous or to make it, you're not doing it for the right reasons.
No, you're not doing it. It has to be like if I'm not on stage for like 4 or 5 days, I'm like, I need to get up on stage.
Yeah.
I wanna go and do this. It's like, it's such a special thing. Yeah. And we're privileged to be able to do what we do. Yeah. So to appreciate it and keep showing up and just keep doing it and enjoying it and facing it.
I love that. Cool.
And don't go up drunk.
Oh yeah. That's great advice.
Yeah, don't go up drunk, go up sober. You get better. You think that you won't, but you are. If it's like, just 1 or 2 drinks, nope. Bullshit. You're fooling yourself. Go up
agree.
sober.
I don't think I started improving as a comedian until I started performing sober.
Come here, 100%. It was like going back to square fucking one. Terrifying.
Yeah, because I used to I used to say I need 2 beers before going on stage.
Me too. I would have had like 2 Canyas and a shot.
Yeah.
Just a shot, and then I'd go up and be like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
And then when I got clean, I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying again.
Yeah. No, it's scary to perform sober.
It is.
But it's like the alcohol lubes you up in a way that sometimes you're really funny when you drink. Like I performed drunk the other night because I haven't really been drinking, but I went out to dinner with a friend and was like, whatever. I haven't had a drink in like months.
Yeah, sure.
So I got super drunk on Monday night and it was shitty, Mike. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I went up and did 5 minutes, completely hammered.
Yeah.
Listen back to it. It was actually pretty funny.
There you go.
Thank God. And people are like, you should do it drunk more often. I'm like, no, because it's not going to be that funny.
It's not always like this. Yeah. 100%.
Like the crowd was into it, but if they were like, I'm here for a professional comedy show.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You don't want to be drunk.
No, you don't want to be drunk.
Or high. I think being high is worse.
Being high is so much worse. Being high is so much worse. Oh my God. Because you can't even say it. You're like, I can't interact.
Yeah.
I can't do this. No. Being high is way worse. Oh my God. Drunk all the way. I've had some of the best shows I've ever done is when I've been like severely hungover.
Yeah.
But like severely hungover. It's been some of the best shows I've ever done. I don't know why.
It's because you're raw.
Yeah. You're like naked. I've got nothing left.
Yeah.
I don't even have any stomach lining.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So I've had that experience where you've been throwing up all day.
And you're like, right, let's do this. And then you go up there and something comes out of you. You're like, I don't even know where that came from. I was so fucked.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. But I also think that goes along with the advice of like, just keep getting up there. Is like, even when you feel like shit.
That's probably the better times to go. Because it really can lift you up. And you're like, oh shit, I can do this at any time, you know.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
I agree. Cool. Is there anything else that you like wanted to talk about or add in?
No, I think that's all good. I think we did a good old ding ding ding. No,
I think so too. I think this was a good one.
Good podcast, Jamie Lerner.
Good podcast. And when are your shows again? Tell me all your shows.
So tomorrow night, Thursday night at 9 p.m. in Imperfecto with Andy Casper.
Right.
Friday at 6:30 here in the Comedy Clubhouse, and then later that day at 10 in the Secret Comedy Club.
Right.
Saturday 6:30 again. I'm taking over Show Up Go Up and doing my hour.
Nice.
Sunday I'm doing my regular show.
Right.
Monday no show, and then Tuesday at 10 p.m. I'm taking over Fat Goose and I'm doing it there.
Amazing.
And then I'm leaving on Wednesday, and then I'm performing on Saturday. Oh my God, I gotta poo again.
Oh my God, don't do it in here. Don't poop in here.
I won't poop in here.
Okay. Well, thanks, Kyla.
Thank you for having me.
You're
love
the best.
you, love you, love you, love you. You're crushing it.
You're crushing it. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.